plant nursery in Ludlow.
Shropshire Prune.
This is the only place I've...
Oh, I found the Shropshire Prune. Damson, Shropshire Prune, Damson. How much is the price of this? Let's check. Damson, £35. St. Julian 8, they really go with. I wonder if I can get for allotment. Okay, over the Easter holiday, I went to Ludlow, Shropshire. That is at the Welsh border, west of the Birmingham. Ludlow Plant Centre provides very good trees, and I bought previously from them. And this time I went and bought another Damson or prune called Shropshire Prune. It's on a rootstock pixie, which is quite smaller than the bigger St. Julian A and others. And it's in a 12-litre container. I bought it for £34.99, almost 35. And this is the plum of the damsons. The best plum, best damson you can find. If you let it really ripen on the tree, you can eat it like a plum. It's delicious, as they say. And yeah, I have already one of these, and I bought another one. And trees for life. Just reminds me of the Fruits for Life video channel, YouTube channel. Probably the name comes from here. Who knows? And I noticed that when you go to Ludlow, always when you get to the market, to plant centers and other places, especially in the market, you get quality goods. I bought a watch there, and it lasted many years for me. And it was nothing more than £7. So when that watch eventually ran out of battery after many years, I went and bought another watch from Ludlow again. Interestingly, if you go probably in one of these southern England markets, most of the times you may end up being ripped off, being tricked by cowboy traders. I did it once, changed the battery of a watch. Immediately it stopped working after I walked out of the repair shop. It was not one of these, it was an old gentleman. And he was very rude with other customers also. And yeah, it seems in the south a little bit attitudes are different. In the north, they know that they have to do business with the locals. They're more honest, they're more relaxed, so you get good value for your money. What you buy actually will do what you intend. That's what's good about Ludlow and places like that. In the rural and suburban and small town England. So I'm going now to plant this Shropshire Damson or Shropshire Prune, and this will be my second Shropshire Prune. The other one I bought it from the Blackmore nursery. Shape-wise, it's a little bit inferior to this. This is a better specimen, and we will see how they will do. For planting this, I removed a blueberry chandler which I bought from the keeper's nursery. Very good blueberry, but I need this space. I have another specimen of that blueberry here. It gives one of the largest blueberries you can ever find. So I use this space for planting this Shropshire prune, and probably next year, who knows, that also can be transplanted somewhere better. But at the moment I keep it here in 2015, April. So I'm now going to plant this Shropshire prune. Okay, I've teased out the roots a little bit. It was not pot bound, it was just rootlets, small rootlets. So it is the right time to plant this. That's what I expect from a Ludlow trader. They are good, honest people. And I put some manure. I dug about 40 centimeter, then filled it half with the manure. Then I planted the tree there. Now I cover around it, put in some of these weeds also just to give it moisture during the summer. Okay, I planted a tree, the Shropshire prune, and okay, it's all right. But I want to also put some weed killer, organic weed killer, and that is to put a cardboard around the tree and cover it with some manure, something heavy. Manure is heavy and it also provides with nutrients. Damson, bought from Blackmore Nursery, is a 2-year-old bush. What can I say about Shropshire Damson? It's the best of the Damsons. When it is ripe, it's really sweet. We used to have it in Shropshire, and yeah, now we have it here. I'm looking forward for seeing a crop of this from this tree, and it looks healthy. Blackmore Nursery usually delivers good sized trees, and last year when I bought some trees from them, around 15 or 20 trees, 70% of them bear fruit in the first year. That's a good record. And from other nurseries I bought also similar numbers of trees, but unfortunately only 50% of them gave fruit on the first year. They say usually thin the fruits or remove them. I didn't bother with that. I just wanted to enjoy it. And 50% from other nurseries, and 70% from this particular nursery. So good record. These are the fruit pods in the Shropshire Damson. Kind of plum, small but very tasty. The tree is from the Ludlow Plant Center, and it's in second year. And I think this year it will give more plum damsons. Probably about even a kilo. Who knows? You'll see. This is Shropshire Damson. Shropshire Damson is they call it plum of damsons. Damson is from probably the Syrian city of Damascus. Yeah, and like anything good from Middle East, this is also one of the best I'm saying that this is one of the best, one of the best tasting plums I've ever seen. Quite a small, but very tasty when it is ripe. And it's now in blossom. I have two of these. This one is here, the other one. This one is from the Blackmore nursery, and the other one is I bought it from the Ludlow in the Shropshire itself. Shropshire Damson, one of the most beautiful shapely trees I've ever seen. It's beautiful. The shape of the branches, everything is so nice. But at the same time, it gives beautiful, abundant flowers. And you see, they're gradually opening. One is already open there. So Shropshire Damson will put a beautiful display this year. This is the first one of the two trees of Shropshire Damson we have. This is the second Shropshire Damson that we have, and as you see, it's a little bit behind the other one in the sense that, oh no, this is the same. We have one flower opened here. This is exactly the same stage they are together. But look at the shape of the tree. Beautiful. Very well organized. These are the trees which are not really, modified genetically or hybrid or anything. They are naturally grown. It's a very ancient variety. They say Damson is from Damascus in Syria, where the unfortunately Western countries send all these Muslim troublemakers to there just to do the terrorist acts on the Syrian people, and the Syrian Arab Republic and the Syrian Arab Army is fighting them with the help of the Russians and the Persians and the Lebanese. And if they think that probably is good if they do it there, not doing it here, these Muslim extremist converts. Unfortunately, that's not the case, because they come and do it here also. So we are now seeing the chicks are coming to hatch. That's home. Anyway, I see a dried damson here from last year. Beautiful tree from Syria. Damson. It's from Damascus, probably. Today is the 1st of August 2015. This is a video about the Damson or Prune variety or plum variety Shropshire. It's called Shropshire Damson. This is the plum of the damsons, as they say. I have bought this plant from the Blackmore nursery. I have another one from the Ludlow plant center. This is the first year I planted it. It gave a small crop, a few, and they're not changing color. They were green. They're very small, quite small, the size of my thumb. You can see the pointing finger. And you see that they're not very bigger than a normal nail, probably double the size of a nail, depending on your, of course, your nail size. And as you see, they are now at this condition. I'm looking forward for this. This is the first year this tree is giving some crop, and we will see how it will do. And the leaves are quite small compared also to other plums or damsons. So, but the tree is healthy, looking healthy, giving some growth this year. These are the new year, this year's growth. I planted it in the, I think, January or February 2015, or even December probably. I don't really remember. I have to look in my notes. And as you see, it's doing well. It looks a bit shriveled because of the lack of water, but they're very quite hardy actually. So they may give us a good, decent crop. As you see, in the first year, I'm impressed. He gave me these damsons, Shropshire Damson, and next year, God willing, it will give us more. This is Shropshire Damson. Some part of it label is broken, and I want to find a nice one which is ripe. Usually the top ones are better. Anyway, I harvested this one. Tiny compared to Meriwether, but about 2/3 of it. And this one is yet a little bit acidic, not as sweet as that one, but it's pleasant. I'm going to taste this one also, just to see. This one is better. The tree is about 3 meters. The Damson, Shropshire Damson, it seems it's ready. I pressed one of them. It looked as if it was ready to harvest. It looks softish, kind of. I'm going to harvest one just to see how it tastes. Yeah, it's not bad, it's plummy, but it has that bitterness yet in it, so it's better to keep it a little bit more on the tree. I will water it, then probably next week I will harvest them. Nothing is more beautiful than the blue color of these Shropshire Damsons. Let me focus on one of these. Today is the 18th of August, and Shropshire Damson on this tree is plenty, and we have another tree also, so probably in 1 week they will be ready. I'm tasting one of these actually. Relatively sweet. I think it's the time to harvest them. Slightly acidic, but it's better to harvest them before chickens have them, or they get too soft and they will not survive like that. So I will harvest them probably this weekend. Today is the 20th of August, and now we have a Shropshire Damson ready. They're getting soft, they're sweet. It's the earliest I've ever seen the Shropshire Damson be ready. So let's start and harvest. Let's pick a punnet and start harvesting.
Yeah, start on the front branches and really wait that, then you won't drop them. You should go in the long. Like
Is it better, huh?
Yeah. The hens are here. They're after the windfall, look.
That's the most natural environment.
Aye.
So we have to be careful nothing falls. Or if anything falls, they will eat it. That's theirs.
Shall we show them?
Oh, they're falling.
There's one. Off you go, off you go.
Let me give it to them. This one. They like Shropshire Damson.
Wait a minute, someone
That's
else will
their
be
share.
coming now. They'll all be here. Oh, goes another one. I haven't seen that one, I'll pick it up. There's two. Before that. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody's seen this one. Let's see what she does.
Oh,
There
you have
she
not.
is.
They like Shropshire Damson.
They love them. Don't you, eh? You know when we match.
When is the harvest time?
They follow us.
Oh God, we have just harvested 1.5 branch and one punnet is already getting full.
Really?
Although we have given some to chickens. We have two trees.
Wait a minute. This is like...
There's another one fallen. I think they will get it.
Let's leave them.
Yeah, just leave it. This is their share.
They'll come and... Wait a minute. That one's just... there's somebody else now. Here they come. Yes, it's got, and it's...
I know, these soft ones are their share. I give the soft ones to them.
Anything that's a bit, not mouldy, but soft or overripe, we just leave it for them and they'll eat it.
Yeah. Oops. Sometimes my hand get too full.
I think we're being surrounded now.
Yeah.
There's more behind us.
Anyway, that's the natural diet for the
It is.
hens. So this one is not full. One punnet.
Yeah.
Don't make it too much
No,
because we cannot carry it. So this is one punnet and from 2 branches.
I can't reach the top.
I will help you with that. Shropshire Damson. Damson Prune. Okay.
Yeah, there, here she comes. They're very good eyesight to these birds. Very good at distinguishing colours.
Yeah, they know what is edible.
Yeah. She loves her plums.
Okay. I will show you when we have harvested all of this because I need my hands.
Oh.
Okay, we have done a few and yet we have several punnets filled and yet the tree is not finished.
No, it's not finished.
Full of promise.
Not only that, but the hens have
And the hens are all over us
exactly what
eating the
we got a poultry, having
fallen
poultry for
fruit.
dinner.
Okay, we have harvested one tree and 2 full punnet, 1 big punnet, which can be called 1 punnet, 2 punnets this size, so 4 punnet. This is another punnet you can call it, and that's this 5 punnet. This is one tree. We have another tree which we have to go and harvest it now. This is the second Shropshire Damson tree, and now we are going to harvest whatever is here. And the chickens, as usual, you may hear them, they're following us everywhere. We are so impatient to harvest everything. We have lots of also other things to harvest. It takes time, everything. I dropped the video better than this one. Wilted ones for the chicks and chickens. Be careful that don't fall.
Yeah, you hold that one. Oh, you can't.
Okay, I will put the camera down now. So far here. Okay, this tree is now finished also. We got 1 punnet out of this. Yeah, that smaller tree gave us this amount, almost 3/4 of a punnet. And okay, not bad. First time we get a good harvest of this Shropshire Damson. And yeah, all these lovely things, we will eat them. Or making jam or making cordial. We will see. So 2, 4, 5, 6. Relatively, if I add a little bit from here to there, that will be 6. Not bad for 2017. And the sun is shining.
in this beautiful bank holiday with the beautiful harvest.
Shropshire Damson is a damson which we planted 2 years ago, 2 trees. And last year we had some fruit, this year we had more. This is part of it. We have eaten most of it now. And they are not very big, but it does worth the wait, because that comes almost as a kind of late plum, latest plum you can have in your garden or anywhere. So let us have a tasting. Oh, very sweet, very sweet. And the flesh is almost yellowish. And that's a heavy rain, yes. As you see the stone, it almost melts in the mouth. Definitely this is an Eastern plum. The taste of it is so rich. Very sweet, very faint, pleasant bitterness, very faint at the end of it, which gives it almost a nice taste. Very faint. It's completely ripe. And compressed, it is soft. Probably I should have harvested 1 week before. It melts in the mouth. Definitely this damson, Shropshire damson. They say damson comes from the name of the Syrian capital, Damascus, which is a beautiful place, I must say. Best fruits grows there. Traditionally, Mediterranean regions are the best, and those areas are the best for growing fruits. Oh, it was so sweet. I ate the whole stone also. The previous one they had in a stone because I ate it. A mistake. Yeah, they must have been brought to Europe, mainly France, since the Crusades. When the Europeans, Crusaders, learned a lot from the Muslims in the East. At the surface it looks like a war, but deeper it was cultural exchange. Oh, that was really good. That was awesome. One of the best plums I've ever eaten. Lovely. Sweet, slightly acidic, at the end faintly bitter, pleasant bitter. Very nice. Surprisingly lovely late plum. When all other plums are finished, Shropshire damson shines. And they make a jam of it, they make a wine of it. So it's versatile. You can make leather probably out of that. Or a sauce, paste, anything you like. Okay, we had a lot of Shropshire damson, so this is the what I've done. I've measured about 1.2 kilos of it. Then I washed it and I added around 120 grams, 100 grams, a milliliter of water. And I brought it to boil, then gently putting on the lowest gas after boiling, and then I try to, by pressing against the wall of the pot, just to make the stones separate. Then I will remove the stones and add the same amount, 1.2 kilos, 1.2 kilo of the jam of the Shropshire damson prune, and then I will add 1.2 kilogram of sugar also. You can use non-bleached brown sugar, cane sugar, or just use normal white one which is bleached. And they just make it white by bleaching. So you can use any of them. The color, look at the colors, how beautiful it is. And this can be, at this stage you can use it for making leather. You can, I have not added sugar yet, so you can make a leather from it, foot leather, spread it in a tray and let it dry. Or you can make what they call it, plum cheese or Damson cheese. That's a very dense, thick kind of marmalade thingy. Or after all the sugar added and all the stones removed, you can just extract the juice of it. The juice of it will be a syrup, and whatever remains, the pulp, will be the conserve or preserve. Preserve actually, yeah. And we can use it in this way. So this is what we are doing now. What a beautiful red color. I'll show you something. The Damson, the skin of it is this color, bluish red probably. The flesh of it, oh, so delicious. The flesh of it is yellow, but this red color I think comes from the skin. Anyway, I'll show you the recipe how to make this. Can I stop the video any moment just to look at the recipe? And because it's a Damson and plums, they have pectin enough in them. You don't need actually adding any pectin. Pectin you kind of thicken it. Or if you want, you can buy sugar with added pectin, or you can just buy pectin add to it. Or you can use things like gooseberry or blackcurrant. Sorry, gooseberry, like apple or anything that they have pectin, naturally pectin, you can add it to this. They call the juice of the sherbet, syrup you make from the Shropshire Damson, the philosopher's syrup. It means it's such a high quality syrup if you make extract the juice. I mean, you can sieve it, or you can throw a flannel or through muslin, just remove the juice and use the juice separately and keep the pulp as a for the preserve and jam. Now I've added the sugar, 1.2 kilos. Remove the stones before adding the sugar and dissolved it, removed it from the heat, dissolved the sugar, and now put it back on the heat. I'll bring it to the boil, then leave it for 10 minutes. And I will also stir it at the same time just to make sure that it will not burn. And then after that I can remove the scum, pot and seal. By the way, the name of the book that is the recipe from is How to Store Your Homegrown Produce by John and Val Harrison. Okay, I have now brought it to boil, and okay, it has a good amount of syrup, so I want to separate the syrup and make a preserve separate from the what doesn't pass through the sieve. I will use a sieve for separation of syrup from the pulp, and whatever passes through the sieve I will use it as a syrup. And you see the froth. Usually they say to you, boil it until that it gets thick. You may burn it that way actually. So I don't want to do that. I need syrup, so I want to have syrup separately. So when I come home I can make a cordial syrup kind of thingy. Add some ice to a glass of water, add some of the syrup to the glass of water and ice, and just stir it and enjoy. This is the best natural drink you can have, and it's made of Shropshire Damson. Okay, now with the ladle I'm separating the syrup from the dense part of it, and what is remaining on top will be our preserve or jam, and the syrup will gather under it. That will be our syrup or cordial. So if we continue like that. As you see, I'm separating them when the syrup, the jam is yet hot. So the cordial is gathering under it, and the preserve or jam is in here. And when they cool, they get dense and a little bit more viscous. So at the moment is the best time. Okay, now I'm near the end of this. So you have this amount of jam, this amount of syrup, and I have separated some of it for tasting. I tasted it. I tell you, this is the best jam I've ever eaten. Oh god. These shop bought jams, they add a lot of vinegar to it and just citric acid. But look at it. Divine. The best jam. Shropshire, Damson, Prune. And this is hot yet. When it gets cool, it will be amazing. I wanted to go to Shropshire and buy in the Damson season. I made it myself from allotment produce. I will lick that. Finish the plate. so beautiful. It's sweet. It has that fruity, slightly fruity acidness. Not acid, I cannot describe it. That fruity taste. That plummy taste. That damsony taste of the Shropshire Damson. It's such a good thing. From the main pot, I've separated the syrup and the preserve or jam. It took less than 1 hour. The biggest part of it, half an hour, was just removing the stones. And I may do something with these stones. They're too nice to be left on their own. And you can make a paste actually out of it. Just put it in a plastic, gradually suck it from that little plastic. One corner of it. Just it doesn't have any sugar. It's just natural fruit. Kids like that actually. And this is lovely. This is the best jam ever. And this syrup makes me proud looking at it. And okay, I have to go and now wash. Before that, I will just leak all of this. It took less than 1 hour. All of this. With the fruit which was harvested about 10 days ago. And you can see how it looks. I have kept 1 punnet of the Shropshire Damson jam, Shropshire Damson Prune, just to eat it fresh. And you hear that people say, oh, measure this temperature, measure that, pectin, all this. I never bothered with that. Just get sure that it doesn't burn. My mom always used to do like this. Make sure it doesn't burn, that's it. Your syrup will be ready and your jam or preserve will be ready, and the rest of it you can just put ready too. Just make sure it doesn't burn. That's okay. Now cordial and jams are ready. I will go for a test drive of the cordial. We'll add a few ice. Okay, I'm going to taste it. Design. Divine, I should say. Why? That's beautiful. They call it the philosopher of the syrups. So true. Now we are using our own Shropshire Damson jam with the scone that we have baked ourselves. And now the Shropshire Damson jam be on this. I want 2 scones with my tea. Ooh, look at that. Shropshire Damson. The best jam ever. That's a preserve full of fruit. Isn't it beautiful? So dense, full of fruit. Even if you buy it commercially, they will not make it that dense because they're stingy. They don't want to give you much fruit. There is 1.2 kilos of damson in this, and 1.2 kilo of sugar also. With some water, which is most of it. But get yeah. Such a good quality. Homemade Damson with homemade scones.